What's up, King? He came to this video seeking the ancient, secret weapon known as the God Sniper. And I'm more than willing to share information about it with you. Under one condition though, if you find something useful in this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you. With that out of the way, let's talk guns in Warzone. Listen up, everyone knows that sniping is a big part of the meta, right? When it comes to Warzone, nothing beats the HDR. It's got superior bullet velocity, which means that you really don't need to adjust your shots from long range to land headshots. In most cases, unless we are talking really long range, it's pretty much hit scan, meaning you can aim for the head and that's where the shot will land. The AX50 just cannot compete in this matter. So you might ask, what is this video about then? I'm already using the HDR. Well, listen closely. Yes, the HDR is the best sniper and it's good that you're using it, but not all HDRs are created equally. In this video, I will be sharing a couple of tips to make your HDR the most optimal one to use. I really like to run thermal on my HDR, as many people do. It lets me scout for enemies, even if they have cold-blooded, mind you. But there's one key trick to make the thermal really OP, and that's using one of the unlockable reticles on it, because the default reticle is, to say the least, fucking terrible. Okay, let's look at what you need to do in order to unlock the best reticle for your thermoscope. In total, you'll need to unlock 3 reticles in order to get the Cerberus. The requirements go as follows. For the Weave reticle, you'll need to get 200 kills using the Solo Zero Night Vision Enhanced Scope. In order to do this, I'd advise you to run this kill build and farm it in either multiplayer or in a Warzone mode like Plunder, for those of you who do not own the full game. One fun fact about this scope is that it actually decreases your recoil, so it's actually not a bad choice to run on your AR builds at all. Mind you, the difference isn't huge, but it does make a small difference, so give it a shot. Next up is the Drop Pad reticle. In order to unlock this one, you'll need to get 50 headshots using the same scope. This might seem like a really tedious task, but if you think about it, it's actually amazing practice for getting consistent headshots in your gameplay. And last but not least, the Cerberus reticle. In order to unlock it, you need to get 200 kills using the PERK thermal optic. Again, I'd advise you to do the same and farm it using the kill build, only switching the scopes obviously. Trust me, this might seem like a lot of work, but using this reticle will make your thermal sniping much easier and more consistent. Here's some gameplay of me using it, and I can tell you that I definitely wouldn't have been able to get these shots using the default reticle. No way. Okay, let's move on to regular scopes. See, not everyone wants to use thermal, and I can definitely say that in my experience, a lot of times I'd rather run regular scopes. So for those of you who do not like thermal, consider yourself lucky, because the best reticle for you to unlock is the first one that you actually can unlock. All you need to do to get the cross-thread reticle is kill 200 enemies using the default sniper scope. Easy enough, wouldn't you say? A really good way to unlock this is by jumping into some 10v10 action. I'd personally recommend the map Euphrates Bridge, as it's very well suited for sniping, and I always get a lot of kills, even with using the basic scope. Now that's it for the reticles, but that's not all actually. I will share with you my favorite HDR setup for Warzone, using the reticles that I recommend. I'm running the 26.9-inch HDR Pro barrel, which gives you the most bullet velocity and damage range, the TAC laser to get a lot less idle sway, and to be able to aim down sights faster. For optics, I run either the thermal dual power optic or the variable zoom scope. Pick your poison here. For stock, I run F-Tech Stalker Scout to get more aim down sight speed. I also prefer running either focus, so you get less flinch when getting shot, or presence of mind, which actually lets you hold your breath for up to a whole minute, which can be a game changer when you're trying to align your shots properly and the target is moving. You might ask, why not run the monolithic suppressor? And ideally, you probably want to run it to stay off the radar, but in my experience, I'd much rather get the aim down sight speed. And honestly, people will know your position anyway, as it's very easy to spot the glare coming from your scope. Same goes for the laser. I actually haven't had any issues using it in Warzone, so I'd say that the pros far outweigh the cons. let's look at an example class that I would personally recommend you to use with the HDR. First, obviously, one of the HDR variants that I recommended to you. Pair that up with Overkill, which is the second perk, and the MP7, which is extremely accurate even in long range engagements, and it's very much lethal up close as well. First perk should still be cold-blooded to avoid the hordes of thermal snipers as much as possible. And for your third perk, I'd recommend going with Amped, so you can switch guns and throw equipment faster. Your equipment should be the C4, considering how many people actually try to run you over with vehicles in a game, and the heartbeat sensor to scan your surroundings for possible enemies. Okay kings, that's it for the video. Hope you found it informative, and just to let you know, I'm actually also streaming on Twitch, so let's hang out sometime. No homo, of course. But with that out of the way, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.
Too bad.
I killed him with the Molotov. I should have fired.
Yeah, you should have. If you fired, you would have beat him, I think.
Yeah, I didn't think he would challenge.